I hear a lot of talk about, the different generations entering the workforce and how they're different, and how Generation Z is very different from the generations that entered back in my day. And while I don't disagree, I think there are some differences. We're learning differently. The speed of things, the speed of change is forever increasing. I do think we forget just that there are a lot of similarities, and you know and I think we also forget just how difficult it is to enter the workplace for the first time. We often come out of, whether it's straight from school or through university, we come from quite a structured learning environment. We know what it is that we need to learn. We've got this end goal of passing an exam, getting a degree, and so the whole thing is pretty structured in terms of that part of our work. And then we enter into the world of work. And, my background was in HR, and I often used to get managers would come to me and say things like, well, they interviewed well. And I think, well, what do you mean by that? And they say, well, they were great at interview. They were kind of really fired up at interview. And I think, well, of course they were fired up. They wanted the job. And I said, yeah, but now they're not like that. They're kind of, pulling back. They just don't seem to care. And, I've heard that enough times to know that that's a similar accusation thrown at new people coming into the workplace, that they don't seem to care. The truth is that when you get a job, you're pleased to get it and you are motivated, but you don't know how to do it. And that is particularly true of people entering into the workforce for the first time. So your learning curve is going to be greater when you come into the workforce, because not only have you got to learn the job for the first time and how to do it, you've got to learn how the organisation or how organisations work in terms of their expectations. It's not just about you and your degree, it's about the team and your impact on the team around you. Everything is different. And there will be a point for anybody entering the workforce where it gets difficult, where they might think this isn't what I was expecting, or this company doesn't have the values or the setup, or even, I used to know how to get things done in university and I don't know how to get things done here. There seem to be politics that I'm not used to. And specifically, also, this job looks a lot harder. I've moved from a position of unconscious incompetence to a position where I'm fully aware just how much I need to learn. And that can have quite a significant effect on our motivation and our confidence. And it's no wonder, therefore, pretty much everybody who comes into the workforce at some point will have a dip in their motivation and commitment and drive to do something. And it's usually that these managers are seeing. And I think it's been true of anybody coming into the workforce. So to call it a generational issue, I would really challenge. And just recognising that also this is the point at which usually their induction stops. They've been all right, they've been supportive. We've shown them, introduced them to 500 people who all remember their name, and they don't remember all 500 names. It can be quite isolating. And then suddenly we leave them alone and they get that dip. And so by providing more support, by recognising that anybody that comes into the workforce is going to have an issue like that, and not attributing that bit to a generation, I think we might get people that could be onboarded much quicker and would feel much more comfortable in the world of work much faster.